Molweni, and welcome to another Mahle video. Thank you so much for clicking play. I appreciate you liking and subscribing to the channel. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it does wonders for me. It helps me get these videos to as many people as possible. The sun is very bright. It is very bright, but also my skin looks really good. Okay, so I don't know why I'm moving this way. I'm trying to hide the reflection of the tripod. Yeah, bon. Anyway, today I am doing a story time. I have not done a story time in a very long time on this channel because of reasons, because life happens. But I posted on TikTok going on my first date in Australia, and people seem to like it. And then a lot of comments were like, please give us a story time. And I feel like with TikTok, it's just gonna be long. Whereby here, I can easily quickly summarize it and make it a really juicy story time because it's juicy. Because it's what? It's juicy. So please watch till the end. If you get to the end, you need to comment. I'll tell you later on what you need to comment. So on one of the Thursday, we were having like a housewarming party because me and my housemates, although they lived together before moving here, we were all new to the place. I hope that makes sense. So that was gonna be a housewarming on a Saturday, ne? Yeah. So on Thursday, this guy hits me up on Instagram. He's like, hey, I've been in Australia for a couple of years. If you need help going around, moving around, you need places, let me know. And I thought that was really nice and cute compared to how people have been coming on my DMs. Like, abanye bantu come on my DMs with some weird vibe and weird energy that I don't understand. So I was like, oh, okay, that's different. He's not trying to get with me. He's just talking. So we spoke the whole of Thursday. We spoke the whole of Friday. And then Saturday, when the housewarming was going on, obviously Andina told me here, so I don't have people at the housewarming party to be hosting and taking care of, really. So I was just on the phone with him the whole time. I did have a drink or two. Couple of drinks actually. So he called, we're talking, and then he calls, and then we spoke. He even video called, then we spoke, and then he's like, actually, I'm gonna be in the city tomorrow, so let's hang out. I had plans with my housemates to go to this restaurant, a really nice restaurant, and I've been looking forward to it. So I'm like, okay, so it'll have to be later on in the day. It can't be exeni or even midday, because we're gonna have lunch together midday, so it has to be afterwards. So I'm like, okay, we were going for brunch. We're gonna go there around 11, and then I said to him, let's meet up around 2. Originally I said 12, then I was like, it won't make sense, so let's do 2. Fine. I wake up very late on Saturday, so okay, we are kind of hanging because of the housewarming. So what happens is I was the last person to act. When I woke up, it was 11. 11. That's when I woke up. Eventually get ready, shower quickly, and we head out. By the time we headed out, it was around 12 o'clock. So I tell him hey, I can't do 12 anymore, so let's make it 2. We get to the place. The queue to get in the restaurant is ridiculous. Yenza an S, a snake vibe. So we were chilling, and then you put in your details, and then they tell you when the table is free. You don't make reservations. Yo, guys, we walked around, went to the markets. It's in a mall. So sazula zula. Sifune yodwa elahlekile. Emahlelweni ayibo sazula zula. Okay, sazula zula. And then eventually we went up, and then we had our table, blah, blah, blah. So my thing was, I had long-standing commitments with my friends, like my housemates. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna cancel those just to meet up with a guy I've never met before, just because it's a first date. I hope that makes sense. So I was just like, they were so worried. They were like, oh, poor guy's waiting for you. I was like, he can wait. Yes, if he wants to wait, he will wait. And he did. But they were really worried, and I was not worried at all, because you must feel like worth it. You understand that? Because I know I'm worth it. I'm spending my time. So what if I go on this date and it's a waste of time, and then I would have cancelled or missed out on a moment to bond with my housemates? I was not about that life. So eventually my housemates dropped me off at the train station in Central, and then he comes, he picks me up. I had to wait for him like a solid 20 minutes, if not more, which was a little bit irritating. And because it was raining and I was wearing a short dress, but was I wearing this jacket? I think I was wearing this jacket and a short dress and khakis, and it was raining. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. But I wanted to look cute. I hadn't been on a date in a very long time. I'll actually insert the picture somewhere if it's not going to be on my Instagram. So he comes, he picks me up, and he tells me he's actually on a work shift. So brothers. So we sit in his car, we just get to know each other. He asked me, do I want to go eat somewhere? I'm like, I've just eaten with my housemates. So he's like, do you want coffee? And I was like, actually, I want some ice cream. One thing about me, I will have ice cream in winter, summer, spring, autumn. I will have ice cream almost every time, every season of the year. Whether I'm happy, whether I'm depressed, whether I'm sad, I will have ice cream. So we bought ice cream at, is it Messina? I'm not sure. I think it's called Messina. Really good ice cream, by the way. Love it. Yeah, so we chilled in his car, then we went to his work parking lot to chill there. One, it was raining. I had already eaten. So if it was like not raining, we would have gone to the park or something. And if I hadn't eaten, we would have gone to like a restaurant. But all of those things couldn't happen because it's and it's raining. So we just chilled in his car and we spoke. We're like, he's a very sweet guy, very nice guy, very driven and very determined. Like, he understands that he's here to work in Australia and he does his work really well. And yeah, he's got some stuff going on back home. Okay, he is 34, from Tanzania. He's been in Australia, I think, for 9 years. Yeah, that's basic information about him. Oh, he's a security guard, and before you'd think otherwise, I'm very attracted to men who work really hard. Like, it's okay that you have like a degree or a qualification in something, but there's nothing that is more attractive to me than a man who doesn't have all those things like as a fallback or as a backup plan, but is able to sustain and maintain his life and financially provide for himself and his loved ones. That for me is a turn on. And I think that's also because my dad is basically a construction worker. So, and my mom hasn't worked for a very long time, and all the jobs that my mom has gotten have been in ministry, like in NGOs and stuff like that. So it's never been something that sustained like her career over and over again. So my dad has always been mainly the provider in our family. So I admire that. I'm attracted to that because it makes me understand that even if push comes to shove, you will always try to make a plan. You're not reliant on your qualification, you're not reliant on your family connections or all those things that could crumble, but you actually have tenacity and resilience to work hard. So I am attracted, I will not lie. It's a weird thing of mine, guys. I think that he couldn't finish his university studies, but has always put food on the table. And men that I see doing that on a daily, for me, give me a weird sense of security. You think, the inner qualification gives me security. It doesn't, because most of them, when without that qualification, piece of paper certificate. They wouldn't know how to do life, how to provide for themselves. Yeah, but so yeah, anyway, he's a security guard and he has 2 cars and a house already in Australia. Do you understand? Akana qualification ke lo muntu, but indoda esebenzayo. Yeah, understand nemoto ezimbini nendlu. And he's a security guard. But also, security guards in South Africa and security guards in Australia are treated way differently, and the salaries are obviously way different. So it's not like bottom and yes, what else? So yeah, the date went really well. There's just a few things within our conversation that made me not want to go on a second date. He said something, I'm paraphrasing, he said something along the lines of, tell me what you like to do on your spare time. Like, do you go drinking, do you go clubbing, are you a person who went to restaurants? Like, what do you like doing in your spare time? Are you a person I can't tame? A person you can't what? You don't use the word tame? So he used a word similar to that, but a word that says I can't control you type of vibe, like you will be out of control, I won't be able to manage you, or something along those lines. And for me, that was, maybe he used the wrong term of words, however, that bothered me. And throughout the conversations, there were just certain things that he would say that would relate to like a woman being a man's position, yeah, in a man's, being the man's position rather than, I don't know. What I did like about him was his ambition, his hardworking, as well as how he sees relationship as a friendship. It's not joy low type of vibe. So I liked that. Another thing that I have been trying to get away from is dating. There's exposure, because I like matured men. Like I don't like dating young people. And you can be young in age, but you can also be like old and young in spirit. But I don't like dating immature people, because I feel like I'm very focused, and as much as I play hard, I also work hard. So I tend to date people who are a little bit older. I tend to date people who are older and more experienced, and not sugar daddies, just a little bit older. But those people have history. I won't call it baggage, it's history. So most of them tend to have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 kids, and some of them are either were engaged or were in a long-term relationship, or were married and are divorced, whatever the case might be. But they tend to have quite a lot of active past situation. So he falls into that category as well. And I just was like, he's good people, but I don't want a second date. I really didn't want a second date. So we're still in contact, and he, I think, will be a really good friend to me in terms of just setting my things up and making sure I'm right and I'm settled in Australia. But yeah, that was my first date. We did hold hands, and on TikTok I posted a video of us holding hands. I stole that video. We held hands and we took a picture together. I was cold. Did you know, guys? I was wearing a leather jacket and a short dress. So he went to his boot and got me, what do you call this? His jersey, a jumper. Australians would call it a jumper. Got me his jersey and I put it over me, and I was eating ice cream. My stomach kept on going because I'm lactose intolerant and I'm in denial. So my stomach kept on going like that, and he thought I was really hungry, which was really sweet. And my hands were cold, so he was holding my hands, blowing on them, which was really sweet and cute. He laid on my shoulder for a bit because he was at work and he was tired, and he had worked like a crazy night shift and was working this morning as well through the day. So he was a little bit tired but wanted to see me anyway. And he was at work. I think he thought like if he doesn't see me that weekend, I would say no, like later on to a date. So he was just like pulling himself towards himself to actually go through with the date. So I appreciated that. While we're in the car and he was like kind of napping on my shoulder, the alarm in the building went off, and he's a security guard, so he was supposed to run, and like those things shouldn't be happening. An alarm should not be ringing if there's a security on shift. So he quickly ran out of the car and sorted it out. And yeah, he wanted to drop me home, but we don't do that. People don't drop you home in your home address after a first date. Ladies, don't do that. So he dropped me back at the train station, and then I actually went to church for the evening service. So our date maybe started around 2:30, if not 3, and then I had to be at church at 5:30, so I left him around 5. So it was a really good amount of time chilling and chatting. But yeah, that was my first date in Australia. If you have questions, I will type them below. I will respond, below in the comment section. And if you got here, please do type alarm. Type office alarm. I think that's a good one, office alarm, and then I'll know you got to the end of this video. So thank you so much. And go see, I don't know when I'm going on my other date, but I have another story time of a guy who just moved to Australia, and he's doing too much. Like, one city too much, he's doing too much. But I'll tell you all about him in another video, because just because we're in Australia together, just because we're closer together, just because we're the opposite sex, doesn't mean we have to be in a situation or situationship. Like out here asking me banza phekela nini too. Anyway, that's a story for another day. Thank you for watching this video. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Other than that, bye.